Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into a profoundly simple, yet literally transformative concept straight from day 6 of the dawn of devotion. We usually think of relationship building as these grand, sweeping gestures, or like weekend-long retreats. But what if the absolute most powerful thing you could do for your connection happens right at the crack of dawn before you're even fully awake? Well, let's get right into the simple magic of the shared morning ritual. So before the daily chaos takes over, let's just hit pause for a second. How are you and your partner truly beginning your mornings together? Think about yesterday morning. Was it just a blur of snoozing alarms, frantically searching for keys, doom scrolling, and maybe a passing wave as one of you dashed out the door? Look, if you're navigating a busy life, mornings are usually completely reactive. We react to the alarm, the clock, the endless emails, but the source material we're looking at today completely flips that script. Section 1, the 5-minute commitment. 5. Honestly, that is the only number that matters right now. The text specifically asks us to carve out just 5 minutes for a morning ritual with our partner. Not an hour, not even 30 minutes, literally just 5. And what's so brilliant about this is that it completely obliterates the number one excuse we all use, right? We just don't have the time. Come on, everyone has 5 minutes. It's an incredibly accessible threshold to just start implementing. Now, what's really fascinating here is exactly how this brief window is framed. This is absolutely not just another chore to check off your morning to-do lists right next to brushing your teeth. A shared morning ritual is defined as a dedicated, intentional practice. Think of it like drawing a protective little bubble around the two of you just to connect before stepping out into the craziness of the world. It's all about shifting from just, accidentally existing in the same kitchen to intentional devotion. Section 2, 3 simple morning activities. And the best part? The text doesn't leave us hanging with vague advice. It gives us an immediate, totally implementable menu. You do not need to invent some elaborate multi-step plan here. The author suggests grounding your ritual in one of 3 super simple activities: prayer, sharing coffee, or just sharing a really good hug before leaving. Let's actually break these down to see why they pack such a punch. First up, prayer. If this aligns with your shared values, taking just a few brief moments for a shared prayer grounds you both in this quiet, deeply focused connection. It takes all that nervous energy, the focus off the immediate stressors of the upcoming workday, and places your shared attention on something much larger than yourselves. It's like taking a deep breath of peace before the rush even begins. Second, coffee. Honestly, it's a classic for a reason. Sitting down with a cup of coffee together forces a literal physical pause. You can't exactly sprint around the house frantically while trying to mindfully sip a hot latte together, right? It forces immediate presence. Those 5 minutes over a mug become a dedicated little sanctuary where you actually look each other in the eye before those emails start flooding in. And that brings us to the third option, which brilliantly illustrates that even the absolute simplest physical touch counts. A hug before leaving. But wait, this isn't that distracted, one-armed pat on the back while you're frantically looking for your car keys. No, this is a deliberate 5-minute slowing down. Holding on to each other before rushing out the door physically lowers your cortisol, it communicates safety, and it builds a tactile bond that you literally carry out into the world with you. Section 3, setting the daily tone. Let's just compare a typical frantic morning against one anchored by a 5-minute ritual. You can practically feel the dramatic difference in how the rest of your day unfolds. Without the ritual, you leave the house scattered, probably a little disconnected, and you just absorb the day's stress immediately. But with the ritual, you leave anchored. You've already established that, hey, we are a team. You've essentially strapped on emotional armor before walking out the front door. And the long-term benefits of this are massive. Over weeks and months, this daily grounding compounds. It actively works to reduce relationship resentment and burnout because you are consistently prioritizing each other before the world demands your attention. Which brings us right to the core thesis of the source text. I really want you to absorb this quote: how you start the day together sets the tone for everything else. As the text powerfully points out, this tiny micro-habit is the very foundation of your daily resilience. It's kind of like a tuning fork for the next 24 hours. If you tune the morning to connection and peace, well, that exact frequency echoes through your workday, your stress management, and even how you reunite in the evening. Section 4, start your ritual today. The source material is wonderfully uncompromising on this next point. It doesn't tell us to, wait until the weekend. It doesn't suggest holding off until the kids are older or waiting for work schedules to magically clear up. The explicit command is simply start today.
Because it literally only takes 5 minutes. There is zero barrier to entry. The perfectionism that usually stops us dead in our tracks when forming new habits, completely removed.
So, knowing that the tone of your entire day, and ultimately the long-term health of your connection, hinges on just 5 dedicated minutes, will you claim them? Grab a coffee, offer a grounded, intentional hug, say a quick prayer together. The devotion is entirely in the deciding. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. The only real question left for you is, what exactly are you going to do tomorrow morning?